Okay, so you're here with us again, ready to dive deep into the world of AI, and that's exactly what we're doing today.
Yep, diving right in.
We're dissecting this fascinating report called the AI Trends Report 2025.
A real treasure trove of insights.
It is. It's like getting a sneak peek into where artificial intelligence stands right now, but more importantly, a glimpse into the future. And what's great about this report is it's not just one person's perspective. It's a collection of wisdom from over 60 experts in the AI field.
Absolutely, a chorus of voices shaping our understanding of AI.
Exactly. And one thing that really jumps out from this report is just how fast AI has gone from those theoretical research labs into our daily routines. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
Oh, it's been an incredible journey. Remember back in late 2022 when generative AI first started making headlines?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Sam Altman's post, that really did feel like a pivotal moment. It felt like a shift.
It did. And by January of this year, 2025 AI wasn't some futuristic concept anymore. It was interwoven into the tools and platforms we were using every day.
Every single day. It's become so ingrained.
I mean, think about it. You could be chatting with ChatGPT right through WhatsApp on your way to work.
Right there on your phone.
Exactly. Or Microsoft Copilot could be helping you craft those emails, maybe even writing them for you. And then there's Apple seamlessly integrating ChatGPT into their latest operating system.
It's everywhere you turn.
It's everywhere. And the speed at which AI is being adopted globally, it's unlike anything we've seen with other technologies. It's like it's operating on a completely different timescale.
It is. And a big part of that rapid expansion is what the report calls this global race for AI leadership. It's a competition playing out on a global stage, and Europe is right in the mix trying to find its own unique path in this evolving landscape.
And then there's the economic impact of AI, which is just massive. I mean, the report cites some McKinsey estimates that project a staggering $18 to $26 trillion in new global added value by 2030.
Wow, those are some huge numbers.
They are. To put that in perspective, we're talking about something equivalent to 3 to 6 times the entire GDP of Germany.
That's a whole lot of economic activity driven by AI.
Yeah, and financial markets have definitely noticed this potential. I mean, we've seen a surge in the stock prices of companies involved in AI and all the related technologies, and arguably leading the charge is NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah. NVIDIA, they've been on a roll.
They have, and their CEO, Jensen Huang, well, he really stole the show at CES this year with the AI PC announcement.
That was a big deal.
It was. It basically hints at a future where AI processing power is a lot more decentralized and accessible to everyone. It's exciting.
Absolutely. But this journey hasn't been without a few bumps in the road, right? Remember that little wobble in the stock market back in January?
Oh, yeah. How can I forget that?
It was a brief but pretty significant dip triggered by the announcement of China's DeepSeek R1 model.
It wiped out over $1 trillion from U.S. tech companies in a matter of days. I mean, it was a stark reminder that the U.S. doesn't have a monopoly on AI innovation.
Not at all. It was a wake-up call for sure. And what made the DeepSeek R1 announcement even more interesting was all the speculation around how much it actually cost to develop. Initial reports were saying it was trained on a budget of just $6 million.
$6 million? That's a rounding error for some of these tech giants.
Exactly. It really seemed to challenge the whole billion-dollar AI narrative that had become so prevalent. It made people wonder if you really needed those massive budgets to achieve breakthroughs.
Okay, so let's break down that $6 million figure. Because as it turns out, while the initial cash outlay might have been relatively low, DeepSeek was actually operating under the umbrella of this hedge fund called Highflyer, and they reportedly had access to a massive infrastructure of over 50,000 NVIDIA GPUs.
Wow, so that's where the real power came from.
Exactly. So while the upfront investment might have been less, the computational resources available were absolutely substantial. It definitely brings the true cost much closer to or even exceeding that $1 billion mark. But, you know, regardless of the actual cost, that initial $6 million figure really had a psychological impact. It raised some serious questions about who the real contenders are in the global AI race.
Absolutely. It shook things up. And that brings us back to this idea of a high-stakes global race, which is really underlined by the sheer amount of venture capital being poured into AI, especially in the U.S.
Yeah, just look at Project Stargate.
Project Stargate, a massive undertaking.
It is. With talk of a potential $500 billion investment involving some heavy hitters like Trump, OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle, all focused on funding OpenAI and government AI projects. I mean, that kind of figure really highlights just how much financial muscle is being flexed in this space.
It's mind-boggling. And it's not just about the money. It's the sheer pace of innovation. We're seeing new models with increasingly advanced capabilities being released constantly. It's hard to even keep up.
It's a whirlwind of progress, and these models are becoming incredibly sophisticated. Take OpenAI's O3, for example. It reportedly cracked the ARC-AGI test, which is a benchmark for more general AI reasoning. That's a big deal. And they're already working on their next version of 4.
It's a relentless march forward.
It is, but it's not all about these super powerful closed source models.
Yeah.
There's a significant and growing movement around open source AI, and Meta Platforms is playing a big role in that.
Oh, absolutely. Meta's all in on open source.
They are. They've made it clear that they're committed to this idea of more accessible AI research and development. They're investing heavily in infrastructure, and they're even releasing some of their models openly. It's a very different approach, a different philosophy.
A more democratic approach to AI development, you could say.
Exactly. And this brings us to a really interesting point, that the report highlights this gap between the massive investments being made in AI and the actual financial returns and profitability we're seeing. It's a bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, it's not translating into profits for everyone just yet.
Right. You have figures like Sam Altman basically saying that even if developing artificial general intelligence costs billions of dollars annually, it might still be worth it.
A long-term vision.
It is. But his own company, OpenAI, is reportedly not profitable, and there's no clear path to profitability yet. And it's not just the AI developers themselves. Many companies are struggling to integrate these AI tools into their operations in a way that generates a positive return on investment.
It's a challenge for many businesses.
It is. They're dealing with messy or inaccessible data, a lack of skilled personnel to implement and manage these AI systems, and often a lack of clear strategic vision for how to best leverage the technology. It's not a simple plug-and-play solution.
Definitely not. And this discrepancy between investment and return isn't just about economics. It's also playing out in the regulatory sphere, especially in Europe. The European AI Act is being rolled out in stages, and it's setting up this comprehensive legal framework for how AI is developed and used within the European Union.
It's a significant development.
It is, and it has major implications for any company, regardless of where they're based, that wants to offer AI products or services to European users. It's a new set of rules.
And it seems like this regulatory landscape is creating some friction. We've seen big AI developers like OpenAI, even with their impressive Sora video generation tool, and Meta AI choosing to either delay or completely hold back certain products from the European market.
They're proceeding cautiously.
They are, and we've even heard prominent figures like Mark Zuckerberg and Spotify's Daniel Ek voicing concerns about the increasing complexity and the unpredictability of European regulations in this area.
It's a point of tension, for sure. But the report makes it clear that Europe isn't completely sidelined in this AI race. There are some great examples of European AI companies that have achieved global recognition.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Companies like DeepL with their translation services, Mistral AI, and Hugging Face, which is a key platform for the open source AI community.
They're making their mark.
They are. But the report also points out that even with these European success stories, a lot of the investment fueling their growth is often coming from venture capital firms and tech giants based in the U.S.
It highlights the global nature of AI funding.
It does, and it makes you wonder about this idea of truly homegrown AI made in Europe, backed in Europe, that can achieve major global impact and transcend national borders. That still seems to be a bit of a challenge.
It's a hurdle to overcome. And this naturally leads to some criticisms about Europe's maybe slower pace in the AI sector and perhaps a lower tolerance for risk compared to other regions. The report even touches on the effectiveness of Germany's national AI strategy, suggesting that it hasn't quite resulted in the same kind of groundbreaking advancements we've seen elsewhere.
Yeah, there's that perception that Europe might be falling behind.
Right. But despite these criticisms, the report emphasizes that the German AI market is still growing significantly. It's projected to grow at around 15% annually and reach a pretty substantial 27 billion euros by 2030.
That's not insignificant.
It's not. And interestingly, Germany is recognized for its strength in the practical application of AI within companies across various industries. So they're doing well on that front.
So it seems like Europe and Germany specifically are at a crossroads.
Crucial decision point.
Exactly. Is the emphasis on secure and regulated application of AI potentially holding back the kind of bold innovation that pushes the boundaries of what's technologically possible?
It's the classic balancing act between safety and progress.
Exactly. And that's the real tightrope walk that Europe is facing right now. How do we encourage the development and adoption of AI while also staying true to our fundamental European values and principles?
Tough question with no easy answers.
It is. And a key concern highlighted in the report is this idea of Europe becoming primarily a consumer of AI innovations that are developed elsewhere, which could lead to a dependence on external actors. That's something we want to avoid.
Definitely. And this AI Trends Report 2025 provides a really valuable snapshot of the most crucial dynamics shaping the AI landscape. It helps us understand the forces at play.
It does. And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's clear that the AI world in 2025 is dynamic, complex, and full of potential, but also uncertainty. We've talked about the incredible speed of adoption, the fierce competition for global leadership, the evolving regulatory landscape, and the constant push for more advanced AI capabilities.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it really makes you think about how these high-level trends are playing out in our daily lives and across different industries. For example, the report dives into this growing trend of AI agents.
Oh, yeah. AI agents. They're fascinating.
They are. They're essentially AI systems that can make decisions and take actions on our behalf, kind of like a super-powered personal assistant. Projections suggest that around 15% of daily work decisions could be automated by these agents by as early as 2028. I mean, that's just around the corner.
It's coming fast.
Yeah.
And the report highlights that example of Klarna's AI assistant, which has reportedly taken over the work of 700 full-time customer service employees. That really shows the potential scale of this shift.
It's a glimpse into a future where AI is playing a much more active role in our work.
It is. We're also seeing this democratization of software development through low-code and no-code platforms, many of which are being enhanced by AI.
It's making it easier for people to build things without needing to be expert coders.
Exactly. Opening up new possibilities. But the report also raises some important questions about the long-term impact on fundamental programming skills and the potential for quality control issues if these tools aren't used thoughtfully.
It's a reminder that even with these advancements, we can't forget the basics. And let's not forget the incredible potential of AI to drive major scientific breakthroughs. The report highlights advancements in personalized medicine, things like the work being done by BioNTech and the amazing protein structure predictions from AlphaFold 3, and even the discovery of new materials with Google's GenomeMe project.
AI is revolutionizing scientific discovery.
It's accelerating progress in so many areas. It's pretty incredible. And we also need to consider the impact of the regulatory environment, particularly the EU's AI Act.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a major factor.
It is. The report kind of makes us ask how these regulations might shape the availability of cutting-edge AI technologies within Europe. Could we end up with AI light versions, or even see some powerful tools completely absent from the European market?
It's a valid concern. It could create a digital divide.
Exactly. And then there's this big question of whether we're currently in an AI investment bubble. With so much money flowing into the field and many AI ventures still not turning a profit, the long-term sustainability of this level of investment is a question worth asking.
It's a bit of a gamble.
It is. And while the emergence of models like DeepSeek R1 might have given some investors pause, the overall trajectory of AI development and its eventual impact on the market is still uncertain. We're in uncharted territory.
We are. And another trend that's emerging rapidly is the rise of AI avatars. These digital representations of individuals are becoming more sophisticated, and they're raising a whole new set of creative and ethical considerations.
Oh yeah, that's a fascinating area.
Yeah.
From their use in marketing and entertainment to the potential for misuse and spreading misinformation.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is. And underlying all of these developments is the need for widespread AI education and literacy. The report points out that even the EU's AI Act in Article 4 specifically mandates a certain level of AI awareness and understanding. So companies and individuals have a responsibility to proactively engage with and learn about this technology.
We can't just be passive observers.
Exactly. We need to be informed participants. And it's interesting to see how our interactions with AI are evolving. We're moving away from those complex manual prompts to more natural conversational exchanges.
Like we're having right now.
Exactly. And with all the advancements in multimodal AI systems that can understand and process different forms of information like text, speech, images, and video, the way we interact with technology is changing fundamentally.
The whole new way of interacting with machines.
It is. And then there's the integration of AI into the core of our computing infrastructure. From operating systems to specialized hardware like NVIDIA's AI PC concept and their Project Digits initiative, all the way to cloud computing platforms. It's not just about adding new features, it's about transforming the entire user experience.
It's about making AI an integral part of how we work and live.
Exactly. And despite some predictions that we might be hitting a performance ceiling with large language models, the report suggests they're continuing to improve, fueling those ongoing discussions about the potential for artificial general intelligence, even as we see more practical AI agents becoming integrated into our workflows.
It's an exciting time to be following AI development.
It is. And the report even dives into these concepts of LAMs and CUAs, large action models, and computer-using agents. These are AI systems that are moving beyond just processing information to actually taking control of our computers to automate complex tasks, much like we're seeing with devices like the Rabbit R1 and those sophisticated data-driven marketing campaigns that can practically run themselves.
AI is becoming more autonomous.
It is. And looking at the bigger picture, the report hints at some potential developments in terms of AI infrastructure. It even mentions the possibility of Germany establishing a major national AI data center to compete with those massive computational resources being built in the US and China.
That would be a big step for Europe.
It would. It would signal a real commitment to AI leadership. And finally, the report really stresses that developing robust AI governance frameworks is no longer just about checking boxes for regulatory compliance. It's becoming a key competitive advantage. It allows organizations to innovate responsibly while taking ethical considerations and legal requirements into account.
It's about building trust and ensuring responsible AI development.
Exactly. So as we look ahead, the report leaves us with a big question. Will 2025 be the year we see a truly game-changing AI startup emerge from Germany or Europe, maybe following in the footsteps of companies like Black Forest Labs? And what will happen as we move away from this era of relatively cheap AI driven by things like hardware limitations, geopolitical tensions, and the rising costs of developing those super advanced models?
These are questions that will shape the future of AI.
They will. And it really makes you think about the complex interplay of technology, regulation, and economics. It's a fascinating web of factors. So we'll leave you with this question as you continue to explore this exciting field, considering the rapid pace of change. What single aspect of AI's development in 2025 do you think will have the most profound and lasting impact on our society? It's something to ponder as we move forward in this AI revolution.
Absolutely food for thought.
It is.